Hey there everyone, it's Austin Bach, and we are back on the Magic Online beta client, testing out some more Rivals of Ixalan Standard. So today is Friday. It's actually the the pre-release day of the first pre-release day of the new set. So the set isn't officially out yet, but it is available to start testing, and it'll be standard legal as of next Friday. And there's also probably going to be some bannings, I would guess, in standard. You know, I have a feeling that the energy deck's going to get hit. But that remains to be seen. But regardless, I wanted to try out some of the new cards from the new set to see if we can do anything sweet with them. So today we're looking at a green-red splash-white ramp deck. And a lot of the cards we've seen before, like Hour of Promise, Gift of Paradise, sort of the basis of a green ramp deck, which hasn't really found a home since the rotation. You know, Hour of Promise used to see more play back when you could go get Sanctum of Ugin or Shrine of the Forsaken Gods to power out the Eldrazi, but you can no longer do that, obviously. But they've printed a few new interesting cards, most notably Sakama, which if you get up to 9 mana, you cast it and then untap all your lands. So if they don't have an instant speed removal spell, you get to, just untap and have use of all of its abilities. Then we also have Brass's Bounty, which might look kind of strange, but at 7 mana, you get a treasure for every land you control. Basically, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically, let's just get to the point. The Sunbird's Invocation is what we're building around today. When you cast a spell from your hand, you basically get to cascade into another spell of the same converted mana cost or less. You reveal like 7 cards if you reveal Brass's Bounty, or 9 cards if you reveal a Zakama. And the interesting thing here is, the nice thing about Zakama and Brass's Bounty is they pay for themselves when you cast them. So it's like you get to cast them for free once you get up to enough mana for them. So you can keep feeding your Sunbird's Invocation, keep making tons of mana, and then our win condition is actually cut to ribbons, funny enough, because we're playing it just as a cheap removal spell, but also later in the game, once you have just like a million treasures lying around, or you're untapping all your lands with Sakama, once you have like 20 mana in play, you can just one-shot your opponent. And then we've also got a couple new cards. Treasure Map we've seen before, but this is a really nice place for it. Not only are we making more treasures with Brass's Bounty, so the flip side is more attractive. It flips into a land, so it's like an additional land to account for the Brass's Bounty, so it works with both halves. Thunderherd Migration is a new rampant growth type effect. The only dinosaurs we're playing to turn it on is Zakama, but we are okay with playing it just as a 3-mana spell, like a Beneath the Sands, minus the cycling, but with the potential to cast it on 2, in which case it's very powerful. And then we're rounding it out with just a bunch of sweepers. Sweltering Suns, Hour of Devastation, and Star of Extinction, all of which we've seen before. Just keep the board clear. It's really nice when you have a Sunbird's Invocation because you can like cast it and then also cascade into like an Hour of Promise, or vice versa, and just keep your opponent from really getting the leg up on you and progressing your board until you eventually have enough mana to burn them out. On the sideboard, I'm still figuring out the last few slots, but basically just a bunch of removal, Carnage Tyrant for when your opponents are inevitably going to be bringing in cards like Negate, and just an alternate win condition for when your opponent knows what's up and you need to sort of pivot a little bit post-board. But this is kind of just a proof of concept, and we're going to take it into some matches and see if it works.